Hey, good morning. Thanks for the opportunity to speak to you. We were happy to sponsor today's event, and as part of that, they gave us a few minutes to kind of just talk a little bit about our company, introduce our group to you if you may not know it. So Aquatechnics is a company that's been working in the Western United States since about 1980. I've been involved in lake management since about the early 1970s. And our company footprint pretty much runs up and down the west coast, west of the Rocky Mountains. We've been in the space for a number of years and have a number of people that kind of help us in our mission. We're While we're an overall lake management company, we're primarily known for expertise in two kind of key fields. One is the restoration of lake and river systems that are impacted by invasive aquatic weeds. For decades, we've been helping people remove an invasive plant like Eurasian milfoil and replace it or allow the native vegetation to recover by using selective herbicides. Procelacor is the most recent addition to our toolbox. We're not yet able to use it in California because of the state registration issues, but we hope to have that out of the way soon. The other thing I've been working on for a number of decades is restoring lakes and reservoirs impacted by cyanobacteria. Today's talk is going to focus on that, pretty much. And this is just something that we've also been involved in. We've used reactive algicide treatments for decades to restore or to open water back up. Probably the primary one in California that we did was about 5 or 6 years ago. The Lake Silverwood Reservoir, which is the terminal reservoir for the California Aqueduct, they weren't able to deliver water to about 5 million users because of taste and odor problems and toxins that were produced by Anabana. We were able to come in on short notice, do a 2-day treatment, and within 24 hours they were delivering water again. So we've got high degree of expertise in helping people open reservoirs back up that are impacted using a combination of different algicides. We also, in our operations, use remote sensing tools like this to tell us when the lakes we manage are starting to creep up, and we can kind of come out and help them out. The last thing I want to talk a little bit about is this nutrient activation. We've got an extensive history using these technologies to keep water resources and water bodies open and toxic blooms under control. Alum is a primary one that's been used for decades. This is something that was originally developed under the EPA's Clean Lakes program. We've built our infrastructure up to do large projects. Canyon Lake is a lake in Southern California that receives phosphorus inputs from a 73 square mile watershed. And for the last 10 years, we've been targeting the inputs every year through an in-lake application. It's been highly successful. Lanthanum is another technology that we have used extensively. We brought it into the United States about 2010. Lanthanum is applied to the water. It settles down through the water column, captures phosphorus. As it goes by, its bond is so tight that the phosphorus that it captures will basically never release. It forms a new mineral that it won't be biologically available again, and then it caps the lake sediments and kind of keeps stuff from releasing. Lanthanum technologies that we're using have advanced quite a bit. We use 3 or 4 different brand names. Utrosorb filters are filter bags that we can place in inflow areas to capture phosphorus from water that's coming in. Utrosorb WC is for water column stripping. It's a liquid lanthanum form that we've used extensively. We've really got some good results with it in reclaimed water lakes where we can target the phosphorus that comes in as part of the introduction of reclaimed water into like city parks and things like that, and keep blooms under control. Utrosorb G is the lanthanum modified clay that you apply and it comes down through the water column. The largest Utrosorb, or the first Utrosorb G application in California, is going to happen in a week and a half down in San Diego County, and we're kind of excited to get that going. And then Utrosorb SC will be available shortly. It's a technology that allows you to put a liquid material in it, it'll sink down and encapsulate it and sink down through the water column and release the lanthanum into the lake sediments to tie up sediments in the interstitial waters. Lastly, if you want to look at one of our case studies, if you Google Lake and Pond Heroes and Kitsap Lake, there's a real nice 3 or 4 minute video that explains how the lanthanum technology has helped them out. So in closing, thanks for the opportunity again to speak to you for a few minutes. And if you need to get a hold of us, these are my contact information and our lead in Southern California. Thank you again.